And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 95 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate. This is my wife, Alexis.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers, which we'll happily drink. And so if you're enjoying the podcast or the information and the stories, we'd gladly appreciate any beers you want to throw our way.
We'd appreciate your support.
And also, you can head to hansonsonhiatus.com. We got the merch store there. We got all the links to the podcast, the video cast. And if you would like to not just give maybe a virtual beer here and there, if you want to be a monthly fucky supporter, you can become a little fucky for $1 a month. You can be a medium fucky for $5 a month, or you can be a big old fucky for $10 a month.
Yep.
Yeah. So, if you were subscribed as a supporter on Spotify, I believe they have ended that program now. And I see some of you have already converted over. So I think I just got an email that Christina had converted over to our Patreon. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your continued support.
Thank you, Christina. That's amazing.
Yes. And as usual, like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
Ooh.
Woo.
Mouthful.
That's a mouthful. And full disclosure, we have been sick for the last week. Well, I mean, combined. I was pretty sick. I mean, I was real sick. And then now I'm about 80-90%, and you are in the midst of it.
I'm dying.
I know. I'm so sorry.
This is it.
It's so weird whenever we get sick, or when I usually get sick first. But I mean, we've only been sick maybe 2 or 3 times in the over 3 years we've been down here.
Usually it's one of us. It's not both of us.
Yeah.
I was trying really, really hard not to get it, but I knew it was coming. It was like New Year's Eve day. Boom.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think I got sick from one of the Christmas parties because, you're around more people. There's a lot of people that have came down here from the States, and I've heard a lot of people in the U.S. have the flu right now.
Exactly. My whole feed, it looks like everyone's sick, and it sounds like the same thing, just like upper respiratory kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So if my voice sounds even tinier than normal, that's why.
Yeah. So, so hang in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Hopefully it's almost over.
I don't know why we don't, and you always take care of me, and then I take care of you, and it's like, I don't know why it doesn't happen at the same time. Like, it rarely overlaps where it's like, as soon as I'm starting to feel better, you'll get started, become under the weather, or vice versa. So,
it's
weird.
hard here, too, because we're in a smaller apartment.
Right.
I was trying to stay away from you, but I mean, I sleep right next to you. I don't have a guest room to go sleep in to stay away from you.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
hard.
Work.
But anyway, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, the first.
Feliz Años.
Yeah, Feliz Año Nuevo. It's the first Hansons on Hiatus of 2025.
Oh my God, it's so shiny and new.
Yeah. So, we have some new ideas. Obviously, we haven't been able to implement them yet because we've been dealing with the holidays and everything. But if you guys have any ideas, if there's any kind of stories you want to hear, or if you have listener questions that you want to shoot over our way, send them to our Instagram at Hansons on Hiatus or one of our personal accounts, and we will answer them on the show. I know there's a lot of people planning on coming down soon.
Yes.
So that's kind of the thing up north when it gets colder, especially in Pittsburgh and when I lived in Iowa.
Yeah.
You look forward to the holidays because it kind of, even though it's getting colder, it gives you something to look forward to. But as soon as New Year hits, you're like, fuck.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, it's still going to be cold. I have nothing to look forward to, like Valentine's Day or, like a spring break. But there's not a lot to look forward to holiday-wise after New Year's. And then it's cold. So.
I always get a little sad after the holidays, too.
Yeah.
It's like this big build-up to Christmas. New Year's is, expected. But it's this big build-up to Christmas Day, and then it's over so quick. I'm like, I'm not allowed to watch Christmas movies anymore.
Yeah, it's like, what do we do now?
I don't want to put my tree away.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, right before New Year's, I totally forgot about this holiday, but I saw some weird posts on some of the Facebook groups for like our area, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. That can't be true. And then I realized that December 28th was Holy Innocents Day, and that is basically April Fools in Mexico.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. So, and I think everybody does it now, maybe, but I believe it's originally was supposed to be like children, and children play pranks on their parents. I think that like that, I guess. So I don't know. I wasn't born here, or grew up here, so I don't know. But this is what I hear from friends and stuff. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, I guess you get to pull some pranks on your parents. Did you ever do any like April Fools on your parents?
No, I remember when I was younger, we'd always April Fool's my dad, like, I got pregnant. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
He'd be like, no, you didn't.
Rude.
Yeah.
Like, what, nobody will hook up with me?
No, he's like, I know you're joking.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
But
yeah.
no, I don't like to be pranked. I don't like to be messed with like that. So I don't like to do that to people.
Yeah.
If it's a harmless little, like, I didn't get you anything. Oh, wait, I did. Like, just kidding.
Oh,
Little harmless pranks.
I think me and my brother, when we were younger, I had this like kind of prankster kit. I think I got at like the magic store at the mall.
Oh.
And one of the things was this little kind of like balloon type of thing, but it's plastic. And like I don't know how to describe
Like
it.
a
Like
whoopee cushion?
no, like the floaty thing that's in your toilet.
Oh,
Like that
okay.
little like kind of ball.
Bobber thing?
But it was hollow, and then it had a tube that went out and then it went up. And you filled it with water, and then you put it underneath the toilet seat. So then when you sat down on the toilet seat, it would squish the balloon, the water out, and then up the thing, so it would like squirt up your butt.
So like a little bidet.
Yeah, like a mini bidet. I mean, it was literally like 2 inches wide or 2 inches
so
long.
weird.
Yeah, it was just like a little prankster kit, and I think,
Haha, I sprayed your butthole.
yeah, but I mean, you'd hear your parents like you jump up and scream. So I thought it was funny.
I thought you were gonna say a whoopee cushion.
No,
That's even better.
What am I, 90? Oh yeah. And then I think my brother did one where he took some Oreos and put toothpaste in it instead of the regular cream. So when you bit into it, it was like
gross.
toothpaste.
Minty. Now they have that.
Yeah.
Minty Oreos.
They do. Yeah. Now people pay for that. Oh shoot. But yeah. So I have kind of a new job ish. It's not like temporary. Yeah. It's like a seasonal. Seasonal job.
Work.
And I think I talked about this last time where it was just I was taking friends and family and word of mouth people on over to Cozumel or to Xcaret or whatever. And still, if anybody wants to hire me, I'm available for that. But my buddy Juan, who owns a tour company here called Living Dreams Mexico, and they do just ruins and cenotes and ATVs. Oh yeah, also this is our neighbor Cheyenne. Hello, Cheyenne.
Say hi, Cheyenne.
Hello. Unfortunately, our neighbor Cheyenne and Sydney are moving to Progresso.
I know, we're so sad they're moving today.
Yeah,
We'll
so
miss you.
so we're gonna miss you.
You made the podcast.
You did. But yeah, they're moving today, so we're sad.
So sad.
They've been our upstairs neighbors for like almost 3 years.
Yeah, since
like
we
2.5
moved in
years.
here.
Yeah,
pretty
so
much.
good luck. We're coming to visit you.
Oh, we're coming.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want us, we're coming to visit.
Yeah. But yeah, the tour company that my buddy owns, he messaged me and he's like, hey, I'm like short tour guides right now. And so I was thinking, like, what are people just out of town for the holidays or whatever? And he said, no, it's just so many people are in town, like tourist wise, that they have too many people wanting tours and not enough guides.
Right.
Said normally,
which is crazy.
Yeah, right. He said normally they do like 15 tours a day, different types of tours. And they're doing like 50 a day right now.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah, so
Holy shit.
I was not feeling the greatest, and I was like, maybe. I was like, let me let you know tomorrow. And then the next day, I was like, I'm feeling a little bit better. And he's like, okay, can I take you on like a crash course in like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So picked up 2 other Mexican guys and a guy from Argentina, and he drove us around to some cenotes to snorkel in. To Akumal to do the turtle sanctuary swimming, and then 4 other cenotes by Tulum, and he basically just gave us a crash course of like Mayan history, the area, the history of our state, Quintana Roo, like maybe in 3 hours.
Wow.
And man, it was super informative. Like I didn't realize all that went into all these tours and everything.
Wow.
I
mean, you got to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you think about the tours we've been on.
Yeah, so he said, so we did that. We did the little crash course, and then we're supposed to start the next day. They don't put out the sheet till like 10 p.m. For the next day to tell you what tour you're going to do, how many guests, where you got to go. Yeah, I mean, like we meet at the office and they, pick you up, and then they take you to where like they have a driver scheduled for you as the tour guide.
Yeah.
And so,
which is crazy because most of these tours are early in the morning. So you're not knowing until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
that night if you have to get up. I mean, I guess it's not that bad.
Well,
but still.
if you've been a tour guide for a
Yeah.
while, you probably know all these places,
Yeah.
but I only know the ones that I know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know their tours
Right.
super well yet. And so it comes out at 10 p.m. and I'm doing an ATV tour with a family of 6 in Tulum.
Perfect. You
Yeah.
just did that.
Yeah, but I've never been to this place.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm like,
Well.
I don't know what to talk about with this ATV tour. So of course the one that I get scheduled on is the one that
You didn't
I didn't
get trained
get
on.
trained. Yeah, which I can BS my way through most things, but I hadn't been to this place yet. So then I'm worried, like, what if they ask me, how are the trails and where do we
Yeah.
go and what does it look like and stuff and what's the process? Because I hadn't done that yet.
The ATV tours.
I mean, kind of, but like, I don't. We went on that one with the horses, and it was in this like just big open area that we're just doing donuts and stuff around.
Yeah.
But then the one I just did in Cozumel was like through the jungle actually,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of mud and rocks and stuff. So I, didn't really know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
I'm a
funny.
little sick too. So.
You sound better than I do.
Yeah. And so I was like a little bit nervous, and so I had to go to the office in the morning. So I rode my bike there, parked my bike at the bike station, and then I start walking and it's 6:30 in the morning, so 6:45. So it's like just a sunrise basically.
Really?
And there's 2 ways I can go. And I chose the wrong way. Instead of going on the main street to the corner and then down, I did this like shortcut route. Which Google Maps told me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm walking. It's not a big deal. And it was just down this kind of like road that was kind of under construction, like they were building a building nearby or whatever. And I get about halfway down the road, and there's this dog in the middle of the street.
Uh-oh.
And I just think it's random street dog. They
Yeah.
usually don't pay any attention
They
to
really
you.
don't.
He comes like right up to me, and it was like somebody's little house compound is right there.
Yeah.
And there was 2 dogs, and they were like barking the shit at me, and they were coming at me and
Ah.
stuff. And so I don't know if they're actually going to attack me
Yeah.
or if they're just trying to scare me off to protect the house. But
Don't run.
I didn't know what to do. No, I didn't run, and I started looking at him, and then I was like, okay, I shouldn't make eye contact with him, because sometimes that makes animals think that you're being aggressive when you make the eye contact.
Yeah.
Like if you ever seen dogs kind of play, like some of them will just like stare off to the side while the other one like yaps
Oh,
at
yeah.
him, So I feel like I was trying to be more passive, but I didn't really know what to do in that. So what would you have done?
Were you on your bike or on?
No, I was
foot?
walking.
Oh yeah, I would have found like some higher ground, I guess, or I don't know. I would have looked away, but been looking still and trying to stay calm so that don't smell my fear.
Yeah, and I didn't know if I should be like, like Caesar Milan. Where
Oh
he's like,
God.
like I didn't know what to do. So I just kept on ignoring it and walked by, and he was getting closer and coming at me more. But eventually I got by him, and they left me alone. So they were
God.
just protecting their house, but I was like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, okay, never going that way again.
You're like, I don't want your house. Leave
Yeah.
me alone.
But so I get to the office, and you got to pack this cooler full of like drinks and snacks and everything. And then if you're
That's nice.
and then if you're taking them on an ATV tour, a snorkeling tour, you got to pack all the masks and
I gotcha.
life jackets and all that.
Those
And
are important.
yeah. And he's like, that's a big deal. Like you don't want to get an hour away to Tulum and forget your fucking, your
Equipment.
gear and just look like an idiot.
Then you got to go buy it again or something, or say
Yeah.
I goofed up.
So I get my sheet, and then we got to go get ice, and then the driver is third party too. So like the driver doesn't work for the company. There's like a driving company, or maybe they're freelance. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they just pair you up with him. He's late. So then I'm like, great. Now it's going to make me look like I'm late. And I pair up with him. His name was Mario. Super nice guy. Spoke zero English.
Oh, yep.
Which understandable,
Yes.
but my Spanish isn't excellent. So that was interesting.
Yes, I'm sure that was a fun day between you two.
Yeah, it's riding in the car for 50 minutes down to Tulum together, so that was
Practice, more
yeah.
practice.
Oh yeah, it was good practice, because I was like, oh, I'm sorry, my Spanish isn't good, and he was like, my English isn't good. So I was like, all right, cool, we're in the same boat here.
Yeah.
Here we go. But we had to get ice for the cooler. And so I'm like, oh shit, like, how does this work? Do I buy it? Like, they gave me some petty cash just in case of an emergency, but I wasn't going to buy one bag of ice with 1,000 peso bill,
yeah.
So I was like, I'll just pay for it with my card. It's like $1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I go up there, and the lady was like, and I go to try to pay for it, and she was like, tour? And I was like, yeah. And she just kept on asking me that, and I was like, I didn't know what she was talking about. And then she points at a clipboard, and they had an account with that gas station for the tour company to get the ice from them.
Very good.
Yeah. So it was just really impressive how, everything comes together. We're in these WhatsApp groups, and They have 50 different tour guides going out at once, and they're meeting a driver they've never met before, and they have an account with this restaurant and this gas station, and it was really cool how it was set up.
Very organized.
Yeah.
Sounds like legit.
But so we get there and to like the condo, and it's really nice, like a really nice condo on the beach in Tulum. So I'm like, all right, these people are well off.
Of course.
And we knock on the door, and then the two of the kids come out. There was 4 kids and 2 adults, obviously, and 2 of the kids get out and they jump in the van, and they're both reading books. And they think they were 12. The other 2 come out. They were 10 years old. They're also reading books.
Oh.
And so I'm like, okay, these are like well-to-do, like maybe a little hoity-toity family. Dad was super nice. The wife was really nice. I start talking to them. They just got engaged. Actually, and that was part of my little tour spiel was you guys actually got engaged on Mexican April Fool's Day. So they're like,
so
no way.
funny.
And they said their parents had gotten engaged on American April Fool's Day. So,
Oh my gosh.
like, what are the chances?
The odds of that?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But super nice. So we get in the van, and I'm like trying to they want us to like talk to them the entire time, obviously. And if you want to tip, you can't just ride in the van with them to the ATV thing.
Yeah.
So you got to like Juan was giving me all these these Mayan stories about the jungle and stuff like that. But that was more for going to the cenotes, I felt like. So I just kind of like winged it.
Yeah.
And so I was telling them stories about ATVing and, the history of the area that we live in of Mexico that I just kind of knew myself. So I feel like I did
pretty knowledgeable about the area and everything around here.
Yeah, so I feel like I did a good job. But I'm always second guessing myself. So I'm like, did I talk enough? Did I not talk? And you also don't want to talk too much to them because if they're like hungover or something,
Yeah, these people probably weren't.
Yeah, they were from like Portland, and I looked this guy up later. He's like the CEO of this company. He was a district attorney in Oregon. He was an aide to the White House. He got some a couple bills like written or passed or something, and then he's a musician, and his wife is a writer and a art therapist. I'm just like, oh man,
cool.
this is like the picture perfect family.
The smart people.
So got him there. We did the whole ATV tour. They had a fucking great time. The kids, it's funny because I know not to be not political, but stereotypical, but from Portland, Oregon. They're kind of well-to-do. The kids are very educated, reading books and stuff. So you might think that they are kind of hoity-toity, whatever. When they were done and the parents went to go change because they're all muddy, the kids were like, "Can we go play on the hammocks? Can we go play on the hammocks?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, "I'll walk over there and watch them for you while you guys go change." And they're like, "Okay." So we go over there and they're swinging around on the hammocks and they're like, I'm going to go climb. And these are 4 girls.
Oh.
And they go,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And she's like, the girls are like, let's go climb those trees. And so they're climbing the trees and getting muddy and dirty and like jumping off of some of the branches and stuff. And I'm just like, that's good to see that, a lot of older generations will say, oh, kids today, they're so soft and they don't do anything. They just play their video games and this and that. There are good families still out there that the kids are very intelligent, but they also like to play just like we did when we were kids.
Exactly.
Get dirty, fall in the mud, climb a tree. Like that doesn't not exist anymore. You might see a lot of the other stereotypes in the media and stuff, but there are very well-rounded families out there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like this is a great family to have.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just a good experience. I was super excited to do it and do some more tours now. So
That'd be great.
I'm pumped. It's something I feel like I'm good at. I just need to get more comfortable with the locations.
Did they like you? Did they give you a little tip? Did they say anything like, "Hey, I'm going to get you a real job with me" or something?
Yeah, I know. I was like, I wanted to be like, you want to listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
No, they gave me a very I don't want to say how much it was, but very generous tip.
Nice.
And very generous to the driver as well.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
That's something a lot of people, I think, don't think about on these tours down here. And when we first started coming, we asked questions too. Do we tip the guide? Do we tip the driver? Do we tip both of them? Who else do we tip? Because now you know who kind of gets paid what, and there's a certain I don't know, payment for each of them.
Yeah.
So they should get a little tip, or,
right.
I
Yeah,
know we
like-
didn't always tip the driver, but we would tip the guide, and I know he tips
Yeah,
out the
and
driver.
that was the thing
sometimes.
is if they just tipped me, my buddy or the company said you should tip out the driver like 30% of whatever the full tip was.
Okay.
So
that
if he
makes
gave
sense.
like $100 or something, then you give $30 to the driver and then you keep the rest.
I
So,
gotcha.
but since he tipped us individually, he was like, yeah, that's what he felt you each were deserved.
Yeah,
So you
that's
give that
great.
out to them.
I mean, if the driver's just driving that whole family, I would probably tip them too. It's a private tour, and then you're our private tour guide.
Yeah. So it's all, but as far as tipping, it's like, it's whatever you think the value of the ride was. If I just rode over there with them and didn't say anything, then probably wouldn't be too much. But since I was telling stories and giving them some history and some facts and stuff.
Watch their kids and
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing about the kids. Obviously very intelligent. They're all reading. They're not playing video games or whatever. They're super well-rounded. Like, the three girls that were like in front of us when I was talking to the wife, she goes, "Oh yeah, that one speaks Japanese, that one speaks Chinese, and that one speaks Spanish." And they're all little white kids.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, okay, these parents are like real good parents.
They're on it.
Yeah, they're on top of it.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
But it was funny after we, got back, dropped everybody off and whatnot, and the driver and I were just in the van, and we stopped at the stoplight. And those guys that come up in the street and they're trying to sell you like fucking chiclets or candy or whatever.
Wash your window or something.
Yeah, I'm always like, who's buying this? Like, who's sitting in the intersection and be like, I really could use some candy, but I don't want to stop at the gas station. Driver did.
This guy,
Yeah. So I just never really knew who bought those types of things.
If
so.
you're driving all day and you don't have time to make a stop or your own personal stop, then you're asking the guy on the street for some chiclets.
Yeah.
Or a snack.
Another thing I thought was interesting. So we'll pivot here a little bit to New Year's Eve. I was getting snack stuff and appetizer stuff for we had a New Year's Eve party on our rooftop, basically.
Yeah.
So we were just inviting like a couple friends over. So it was like 6 people.
Couple friends. We knew some neighbors would be up there too.
Yeah. But I went to the grocery store and they had these cakes there. And they really funny. And one of them had
Mexico's hilarious. Mexicans have some of the best humor I've met in people, for sure.
Yeah.
A unique sense of humor.
And so one of the cakes has like this little character, and he has a pair of red and yellow underwear like in his hands. And you said you'd seen something about that before,
I've been
right?
seeing red and yellow underwear, like panties, everywhere, but the same ones. They're like those little kind of lacy boy short, whatever looking, but everywhere. And I'm just thinking, Mexico, there's weird stuff everywhere all the time. But then my friend Fasana and I went to the Sunday market. We went somewhere else, and there's like panties everywhere. I'm like, what is with the panties? What's going on?
Yeah. So it was on the cake as well, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and you are supposed to wear red or yellow underwear. And I don't know if this is a worldwide thing or just in Latin America, but yellow attracts money and positive energy, and red is said to bring romantic luck, ensuring a full year of love and excitement.
Oh.
So one is for like love and one is for money. So I
There
guess
you
you
go.
just decide what do you want to have this year. You can't have both. You can get love or money, but
I mean,
never
what if
both.
you put both on?
Yeah,
I
right.
had black on, so what do I get?
Then you get a rash.
No, that's not nice at all.
No, I mean if you had two pairs on.
Oh, I gotcha. I thought you meant my black undies.
Oh no. And real quick to back up, if you are looking for a tour, really good private tours in Mexico, it's livingdreamsmexico.com.
They're the best.
Yeah, the best.
They have all of them too. Whatever tour you want, customized.
I was talking to
Amazing.
one of the other guides, and she was a girl from Ukraine.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
she's from Kyiv.
nice.
Is it Kyiv or Kiev? Whatever.
Kiev.
But yeah, I was
Kiev.
like, damn. She's like, her country's like, getting attacked or whatever, and she's here giving tours in Spanish. I was like, fuck, more power to you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
why not?
Life pivot.
Oh my goodness.
The cakes were really funny. I didn't know about the underwear. We did notice all the prices are really jacked up for the holidays.
They jacked them up. Everything went up.
Yeah.
I hope it goes back down. I
Yeah.
hope it's not the same.
I know,
for
like,
the rest of the
and it
year.
was funny because we were at the grocery store, or I guess I was at this time, and we were getting a bottle of vodka for New Year's.
Yeah.
And we always get this brand, and it's not. I mean, it's like considered probably low class vodka, but it's good. Like it doesn't give me a hangover.
Yeah.
Like it tastes good.
Tastes fine to
yeah,
me.
it doesn't smell like, gasoline or anything.
How much?
And normally it's like 99 pesos. But we've gotten it on sale for like 80 pesos before.
Yeah.
Never more than 100. It was 174 pesos.
Ugh, outrageous.
Yeah, outrageous. And I was going back and forth, like, should I buy this? That's too much. Maybe I should wait till after the holidays. And then I was really thinking about it. I'm like, 174 pesos is like $8.
Yeah.
And, so 80 to 100 pesos is like $4 or $5. So I'm bitching about $3 more of this bottle of $8 vodka. So.
It's so funny because we know the conversion from pesos to USD or USD to pesos, but it still gets me sometimes. I'm like, oh, 1,000 pesos. That seems like a lot. $50. Like, I'm not buying vodka for $50,
yeah,
but
exactly.
something else. I'm just like, oh yeah, this doesn't. I don't know. Just they have more zeros, more decimals. So I'm always like, oh, that seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, like why would I do this?
Yeah, 173 pesos. It's not $173. It's only like $8.
Yeah, and not like we're thinking like that, but it's like it sounds so much more in your head. You're like, oh my god, from 99 pesos to 100, it's almost twice as much, but it's like it's still only $8.
Exactly.
So we can deal with that. So I got two.
I love it.
Well, the second one was half off, so I got one for about 80, 85, and then one for
you got a deal.
Yeah,
Buy one get one half off.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as New Year's Eve, we just had some friends. We met at our house and we made some appetizers and stuff. I made some little smokies again. We did some meat and cheese platter. Oh, by the way, things costing a lot. Summer sausage we were gonna get for the meat and cheese, like a regular, was it like Johnsonville, whatever. What was it? 220 pesos. So it was like $11 for a fucking summer sausage.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that was too
a
much.
bit extreme. When the pepperonis...
I draw my line at sausages.
I thought you would have bought it still and be like, eh.
Yeah, like whatever. But no, it was. I was worried that because you were under the weather as well.
Yes.
But you rallied for New Year's. You did good.
I had to. Everyone's like, you can don't feel bad. Just stay home and rest up and this and that. No. I'm not going to stay home. I'm going to come up there. It's outside. Hopefully I don't infect anybody. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'll rally.
Yeah. So we went to, with our 4 or 5 friends, we went over to the beer club and we had a couple of craft beers.
Yep.
And then we headed back to the house and I got the food ready and brought it upstairs and everything. And once again, somebody put some mushrooms in our mouth. I was like, what the fuck? So, but yeah, one of our friends came over and boop, popped it in the mouth. I was like, okay, like our friends need to stop doing this to us.
For some reason, mushrooms, like mushroom chocolates, are the drug of choice, I guess, here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very spiritual community. A lot of people do, mind expanding things, but normally it's like microdosing type of thing. It's not just like fucking tripping balls or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
no one's
and that's
doing
how
that.
we were too. It was just like we were just happy. It was a happy thing.
I was smiley all night for sure.
But it was supposed to just be 6 people because everybody else had said they had other plans. We had like 25 people.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
We had a lot of people. Well, neighbors came up. They brought some neighbors. We had neighbors across the street come over that we just met. Those people came over. We had some other neighbors and friends that we haven't seen in a while. It was like everybody was in and out, too.
Yeah, and one of them complained about the food.
Someone, I didn't know who she was. She came with some friends of ours and was like, this is all the food? And I just remember looking at her and be like, you're late, bitch.
Yeah. And by the way, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, who are you? And
what did you bring?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we basically made all the food except for our friends Mary Lou and Jorge brought like some wine and cheese and champagne, and then Eric and Rachel, our friends from Iowa/Chicago.
Yeah.
They made some really good guac.
They brought salsa and booze.
Yeah.
And their puppy Charlie.
Yeah. So Charlie. But yeah, we did I don't know if anybody remembers from last year, but there's this tradition in at least in Mexico, I think maybe in some other Spanish speaking countries, and it's the grapes.
Yes.
So if you ever are in Mexico and you see a ton of grapes out in the grocery stores around the holidays, it's because on New Year's Eve it's weird because you have 12 and normally you start a countdown at 10.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but we start our countdown at 12.
Yeah, why
and
not?
You have to eat 12 grapes before the countdown strikes midnight. So like one grape every second. So you're like, well, and and you're supposed to make a wish for each one for each month of the year to get good luck for the year.
I think I got through 9 or something like that. 10 maybe.
Yeah, I got through all of them.
Oh gosh!
Because when we kissed at midnight, I was like a chipmunk. I had all these.
They were
grapes
big
in my,
grapes.
Yeah,
they were big this year. They were really big. Oh my gosh! Everybody was just like shoving them in their mouth.
Yes. So yeah, that's a good tradition that we enjoy.
I will say I have never heard of that until we moved here. Obviously, we've been doing it for the last 3-4 years now. But I saw a lot of grape eating, I guess, on my social media this year. After the fact, I was like, wow, okay, it's catching on.
You got into the grape algorithm, I see.
I am. I'm there now. They were like, grapes, we heard you.
Yeah. But the fireworks were amazing
God.
at midnight. We just, like, where we were at, if you haven't seen our social media in Playa del Carmen, we're about 2 blocks from the beach, and we have a rooftop pool and kind of a patio area, and we're higher than most of the buildings around us.
Yeah.
So we see all the fireworks from all around, from all the hotels and Cozumel and just private ones and the city fireworks. But it was great this year.
It was amazing. We were getting a little worried because that happened last year. And then this year, once it started getting a little closer, we're like, we hope they're going to do all the fireworks again.
Yeah,
and then like clockwork. Boom, to the north of us, to the south of us, and they all started going. Everyone was so happy.
Yes.
We were like, yay!
Yeah, I think, everybody was very happy they came over, and I was too, because I was like, I hope they do it.
We were like, we hope they do it, because we did read stuff online that they were confiscating fireworks this year. They didn't want to let anybody, because the jungle animals and things like that.
Dogs, and then
totally understand.
Just all the trash that they create and stuff.
It was, after the fact, it was very foggy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The whole city looked like it was like a war zone. It was just so much fog and smoke and everything
everywhere.
But yeah, it was a great night. I think we ended up going to bed at like 4 a.m. 4:30. Me and Juan were sitting here talking for a couple hours.
I had to kick you guys out.
Yeah.
I was like, it's bedtime. I'm calling it. I can't see the sun.
Get out of my kitchen / bedroom / living room / studio.
If I had a room to go to, I would have gone there, and you guys can just live it up. But you're in my room. You're in my room / kitchen.
Yeah, I understand. One of the things I wanted to discuss at parties. So, at least with me, okay, so what is the etiquette for music at a party? Because to me, when you go to somebody's house, they play the music. They control it, unless, they offer it up and say, hey, do you got anything you guys want to put on or whatever? But we have our friends, and I love our friends to death.
Of course.
But there are some of our friends that insist on playing DJ, and it's not like, I could understand if it was like, oh, I've been playing EDM music all night and they want to hear something a little different. And that's their way of saying like, hey, let's change up the music a little.
Or we don't like your music.
Yeah.
Or something.
But I'm usually pretty good with playing a variety of music.
You're very conscious of the clientele, like who's around, our friends that are around. You know what type of music they like or don't like. And for the situation or the party, it's a New Year's Eve party. So we're going to listen to like a top 40 or we like that one station from Europe or something like that gets you in the mood for New Year's Eve.
Yeah. And our friends always want to like come in and play DJ, and then they put on YouTube for some reason. Like nobody knows how to use Spotify or like Amazon Music or something. And YouTube's fine, except for then it plays commercials, and then it also, you can't, if you get out of the YouTube app, then the music stops. So I can't check my messages and stuff of other people coming up to the roof or whatever.
I don't like that people steal your phone. They're like, hey, I'm going to play some jams. Sure. Then they take your phone. It's like, well, and then they have to ask you every 2 seconds for your thumbprint or your, your code or something. It's like, okay, do you just want to take over?
And and I know they don't mean anything. They don't mean to be rude by it, but to me, it kind of seems a little rude. Like, I can't imagine going to like somebody's Christmas party and they're playing music or whatever, or a birthday party, and being like, hey, do you mind if I change the music? Like, it's basically saying your music sucks. I want to hear what I want to hear.
Exactly.
And it's like, I'm playing this for everybody. It's not your party. Nobody's going to say, oh, hey, can we get rid of this food and order something else? I'm not really a fan of this food. It's just, I feel like it's a tad rude. No,
I would agree. I mean, I hate to agree, just be agreeable, but I agree too. I wouldn't ask somebody unless, like you're saying, you went to a party and you're like, you're playing like Metallica at an Easter brunch, or EDM music at our I don't know, our pool party or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, that wasn't a good example, but you know what I
yeah,
mean.
I know what you mean.
It's got to fit
It'd be like
the
playing
mood.
classical music at a pool party. Or
Yeah,
something.
it's got to fit the mood. It's got to make everybody like vibe the same way. You can't just play what you want to play. If I played everything, I'd be playing a bunch of country songs, and people would hate me.
Yeah, or if you want to play what you want to play, have your own fucking party.
Yeah, have your own party.
Yeah.
Bring your own speaker. Bring your own shit.
Yeah. So anybody out there, if you want to shoot us any messages, actually, I'll put it on Spotify as a question. Is it rude to ask to change the music, or just change the music at somebody else's party?
Yeah.
Because personally, I think that's rude, but also, I mean, everybody has different points of view. Like I don't think they're trying to be rude. I think they just don't realize that. I think that's weird.
Right. I think you could. How about a song request? Sure. Do you have you want
There
to
you go.
request a song? Great. I'll put it in the playlist. I'll put it in the queue for you.
Ooh.
This isn't like, hey, or whatever happened in that Spotify, you can add a song to the playlist.
Well,
like
that's
the
what I
group.
was saying. Ooh,
Oh,
about,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all you have to do is do a playlist and then just make it public.
Right.
And share
They
it.
can add to it.
Yeah, and just share it and be like, hey, you can put whatever songs you want on here. It'll just play through them. But so they're not controlling the music, because
Right.
that's the other problem with people that take over the music and want to control it. It's not like they're like, hey, let's put on this album or whatever. It's like
Right.
they want to change it, and then when they don't know what song to play, then it's dead silent for a couple minutes while they try to figure out what song and get through the commercials. And I feel like it really kills the party.
It really does. It I would agree.
Yeah.
It kind of just gets everybody, all right, let's mosey on, let's move on.
Yeah. So
Not a big deal.
No,
But
so-
kind of weird.
yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly. It's not a big deal. I just think it's like odd to go to somebody else's house and want to play DJ when they didn't ask.
Yeah.
But
And when I'm coming to your house for a party, I guess have the music going. Don't ask me, what any song requests, any of this and that. Just play it. Just figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm your guest. I don't know.
exactly. But anyway, it was a great New Year's Eve, great New Year's party. I think everybody had a good time, right?
Oh, yeah. I think everybody had a really good time. We didn't hear from much people until later the next day. And everybody's like, killer party, great food, great new friends, making friends. It was a great time.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, I do feel like people mingled really well.
Oh, yeah.
was
We had
good.
a good group.
Yeah. So,
So-
yeah.
One
Till-
for the books.
Yep, till next year.
Till next year, we'll do it again.
But this happened last week, and we were going to Walmart. We were in Walmart, and while we were walking around, we hear all this like crunch, crunch, crunch on the roof, and we're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
God.
They were, I guess, replacing the roof or doing some construction on the roof,
Thank God.
and we're walking over to the bakery area, and there's like this caution tape, and there's a lady there wearing a hard hat, and she has a whole like bag of hard hats. And we see people in the bakery, and they're walking around with hard hats on.
Yeah.
And they do not work there.
Yeah.
So we're like, what the hell is going on? So we go over there, and they, instead of closing the bakery because of the potential for something to fall from the roof, they're just like, oh, we'll just have the customers wear hard hats.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make sense?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And to trade them out like, oh, you're done getting your baked goods? Thanks for your hat. Oh, here, new person. Put this hat on. I don't want somebody's like sweat, and we're all sweaty. It's
Yeah.
Mexico. We're all sweaty here. Putting your sweaty hard hat that was on your head on my head now.
Yeah, the rules of safety here are just really weird. I mean, you got to wear a hard hat to buy donuts and bread, but then the power company does something like this.
Yeah.
They just have these like bird's nests of wires, and these things are smoking for some reason. I mean, it's they see this and they're like, "Yeah, that's fine, just fine.
It'll be okay.
It'll be good."
No, we'll just figure it out
Yeah.
later. It's always like, if it's not a problem now, we'll just worry about it until later.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I thought that was funny. It was like, why wouldn't you just move the bread stuff
Yeah.
somewhere else or close it down for a couple days?
Just close it for now.
It's, it was like, do we have to sign a waiver? Like, what's going on
We
here?
can't miss out on our 10 peso donut sales.
Right,
We really
yeah.
can't. We really can't.
Yeah. Oh my god. So but yeah, that I just thought that was hilarious. But
funny.
great New Year's Eve.
Yes.
We're excited for 2025.
We are.
I'm not gonna do. It's almost like not annoying, but how people are always 2025 is gonna be my year. 2024 is gonna be. Let's just live our lives the best we can, and so
Yeah.
we don't need a start and an end date. Like it's it's never going to be great. Let's just be real. Like,
well, it's another year.
I feel like we've been saying this for the last 20 years, and it's just gotten worse every year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm being a pessimist. I don't know
why it has to be your year. It's another year. Let's be the best we can be.
Yeah.
Let's just set a little baby goal. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. You could set some things for yourself. You don't have to set any goals. Just continue with the goals you have or whatever you're doing. Just be a better person.
Yeah.
That's all.
Or just be the best you can.
Yeah. Be the best version of yourself.
That's right. Oh, shoot. But let's see. My parents are coming next week, I believe.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
I'm so excited to see them. But it is a long time for them to stay.
They're going to be here through April.
I know.
I hope you guys are listening. We love you so much.
We love
can't
you.
wait to see
Yeah.
you. No, we're kidding.
Yeah.
We're teasing.
Yeah.
Anybody's parents, right beside you for
Not even parents, just like friends. Like if we had like one of our good couple friends stay next to us for like 3 months, you start getting on each other's nerves a little bit.
Oh,
but it's all, we love them all, so it's good. Yeah, but we'll have a good time. I think we're going to try to take them to do some different things this year. We've done obviously Cozumel and all the Xcaret and the things we normally do. I think we should maybe take them to like Holbox, the island up north of Cancun.
We need some new things this year.
Yeah.
I love all the things that we do, but we're doing new things this
and
year.
we'll get over to Merida and Progreso to see Sydney, and then my mom's gonna miss Sydney before she moves, so she wants to go see her. So yeah, it should be good.
I've never been there.
Oh yeah, I haven't either actually.
That's great.
Yeah, it's like the beach town. Yeah, if you're unaware, so Merida is like almost to the top of the peninsula, but it's inland. It's like in the jungle.
Yeah.
But beautiful city, really big. That's where they have a lot of good doctors there. You buy your cars there.
Everyone buys
what else?
cars.
They're known for really good food, the Yucatecan food.
You're supposed to have good hospitals and stuff there, too.
Yeah, good healthcare. That's where my dad in the 70s, when he was in optometry school, they sent him there like kind of on a mission, not like a religious missionary trip, but like they took a bunch of eye doctors down there and checked people's eyes because nobody wears fucking sunglasses here.
Nobody wears sunglasses. It's so weird.
Yeah, so you get a lot of like cataracts and stuff, I think.
Yeah, the sun will blind you.
But you know what? Two of our guide friends, our friend Marlos and Juan, have both told me that they don't wear sunglasses because when you meet your guests as a tour guide, you want to look them in the eyes and build that, rapport with them.
Yeah, I could get that.
So that makes sense. But
you can take them off.
Right.
And put them back on.
That would make sense too.
Yeah, take them off and put them back on. That's why everybody's blind here.
Yeah.
You can't see.
Yeah, so, and then I go to the Super Bowl in 3 weeks, I think.
I get my 2-week girly vacation. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I have no plans. Last year I made plans and none of them worked out, so I'm making no plans this year.
No plans.
No plans. Just going to wing it, see what happens.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, thank you guys for listening, for joining in all last year, starting off 2025 with a bang. It's going to be a great year. That was Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's okay.
She's okay.
But don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music, at Hansons on Hiatus. Visit the website, hansonsonhiatus.com, where we have our merch store and all the links that you can share to your friends and family if you think they would enjoy the podcast, or if they're thinking about coming down to Mexico soon. Make sure you hit us up, livingdreamsmexico.com for the tours.
Yes.
And what else do we got for? If you're looking for a place to rent in Tulum, hit Alexis up. She has some great Airbnbs there.
Linktree /RivieraRetreats.com.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, and buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. If you want to buy us some virtual beers, we will happily drink them.
We will totally happily drink them.
Yeah, so hope everybody has a great 2025. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.